Welcome to the Climate and Water Outlook for February to April 2022. La Nina is at or near its peak and likely contributing to the wetter than average outlooks for parts of northern and eastern Australia. And while in southeastern Australia we may see lower than average temperatures in the coming months, it is likely to be warmer than average for many other areas. But first, let's look at the recent conditions. January saw lower than average rainfall for Queensland, the top end, and the west coast of Tasmania and Western Australia. Central and South Australia, on the other hand, received higher than average rainfall for January. For example, Kimba, South Australia, received more than 3 times its entire average summer worth of rainfall in the 3 days ending the 24th of January. Southeastern parts of Australia also saw higher than average rainfall in January, with repeated thunderstorm events throughout the month. This extra rain in the south and east has contributed to numerous flooding events in South Australia, New South Wales and Victoria. Maximum temperatures were above average for much of the west, northern 2/3 and parts of southeast Australia. Perth had 6 consecutive days at or above 40 degrees, the highest run for any month in 123 years. This is the equal longest run for Australian capital cities, matching Adelaide in 2009 and 1908. Minimum temperatures were also above average across most of the country, with high nighttime temperatures and high dew points, resulting in an unusually muggy January in many areas. The higher than average temperatures mean the Australian soil moisture has generally dried out over the past month, though soils are still wetter than average along the east coast and in the top end. Water storage levels are much higher across the southeast coast, as well as the Murray-Darling Basin and the southwest coast of the country, compared with this time last year. The La Nina in the tropical Pacific is near or at its peak, and for now continues to influence Australia's rainfall patterns. La Nina typically increases the likelihood of above average rainfall during summer across much of eastern Australia. This influence continues, but is likely to return to a neutral state in early autumn. The influence of La Nina can be seen in the outlook for February to April, with above average rainfall predicted for eastern Australia. Central Western Australia, on the other hand, is likely to have below average rainfall. For January to March, high stream flows are expected at most forecast locations in the eastern mainland, with near medium stream flows at many other locations. For maximum temperatures, the outlook indicates cooler than average days likely for the southeast and warmer than average days likely for the west, south and the northeast coast. Nights are very likely to be warmer than average across most of the country during the 3 months, February to April. Our extremes outlook indicates the likelihood of falling in the highest 20% of February to April periods. This shows an increased chance of unusually high minimum temperatures for Australia, especially across the north, west and Tasmania. High nighttime temperatures contribute to potential health risk during heatwave events, as the body does not have an opportunity to cool down. Much of the country experienced at least low intensity heatwave during January, and more heatwaves may be on the horizon before summer is through. So remember to always follow the advice of local emergency services. So in summary, February to April 2022 is likely to see above average rainfall in eastern Australia, but below average in central Western Australia. Cooler than average days in the southeast, but warmer across the west, south and northeast. Warmer than average nights, and higher than average stream flows along the east coast. Thanks for joining us. You can find out more about our outlooks on our website, and we'll see you again next time.